Here we go.
You know, speaking of tech, I have my phone here. I really only keep it in the studio for one reason. I can play Scrabble with friends while these guys are trying to figure out what the show's doing. So that, I can check the weather and do all that kind of stuff, right? So I know never to pick up a phone call that is ringing while it's in the studio, because anybody that knows me knows I work at this hour. So I don't know who this is, but I'm going to call him back, and if it's somebody I know, I'm going to rip him.
Okay.
I'm going to rip him. We could do this live on the air. I would totally rip you. Oh, you know what? I think that's my dentist. Okay, never mind.
Probably just reminding you.
Yes.
He'll rip you next time he sees
Recording
you.
call.
I'm sure. Right. Jeff Groby is back with SumnerOne. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you very much. All right. So we got a weekend here. We're going to talk here in a second. I do want to remind you, if you have questions regarding your computer, your office gear, pretty much anything, these guys are on it. Jeff is the lead engineer at SumnerOne. What does a lead engineer do?
Well, basically puts out fires. I have a great team of people that work with me, and they triage things and deal with problems, and the problems that are really difficult to solve hit my desk.
And it seems to me that being an IT person, wherever you are these days, is just it's just a whirlwind all the time, because it's changing that rapidly.
It's nonstop. Yeah, it's every single day.
And how do you keep up?
15,000 pages of reading a year, just to stay relevant.
I was wondering if
I actually crunched the numbers and figured out that I read about 15,000 pages that are industry specific every year. So.
Do you go to a lot of classes too on the side to
I'm
learn?
not so much a classroom person anymore, but occasionally I will go take training somewhere or something like that, or if there's a certification that needs to be renewed. But mostly it's just constant reading.
Everything's changing so fast.
It is. Okay, so, and I didn't do my due diligence. Our number is 314-969-5877. That's 969 KTRS. Outstate 1-888-550 KTRS. And from your cell, star KTRS. Okay, so last week we talked a little bit about cryptocurrencies. And we were just absolutely amazed at, how it... Well, I'm not going to say how it all works, because, to be honest, I don't know how it all works. But now, and I was going to use, in fact, the phrase blockchain last week, because I'd heard somebody say that, and I thought, blockchain? That sounds like I sound intelligent if I say that, but explain what a blockchain is.
The blockchain is actually the really cool piece of technology that underlies the cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin is unique because it's really kind of the first cryptocurrency that was out there, but the underpinning technology is blockchain. And blockchain is actually relevant to many, many different fields, different areas, silos, healthcare, finance, what have you. And basically it's the method in which the transactions are kept and recorded.
Interesting.
I don't know what he means.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, so, all right, I'm with you. So, well, explain how that
okay, so
yeah.
I'm going to use Bitcoin as an example.
Okay.
The blockchain is the ledger, just like a debit and credit ledger.
Right, got
that
it.
Tracks every single transaction.
Got it.
For infinity, for forever. So you can go all the way back to the Genesis block, the very first block that was generated and all the transactions that are in there, and you can search a Bitcoin address and you can see every single deposit or transfer in or out of that account, and it's a permanent, immutable record of those transactions. It can't be changed. Once it's recorded in the blockchain, it's permanent.
Okay, so when we talk about cryptocurrencies, or I suppose Bitcoin specifically, and we refer to blockchain, I get that now. That's the ledger. Okay, is that applicable in other uses?
All sorts of other areas.
Okay.
In an inventory situation, you can use it to track incoming inventory and outgoing inventory. So it's an immutable ledger of things that come in and out. In healthcare, it can be your permanent health record. In certifying people's credentials and their educational background, there's one company out there right now that's actually putting people's credentials into a blockchain, and that's how that's tracked.
How is that stored?
It's usually stored electronically. It's stored as a type of database, but there's very specific things that are done that link each new entry to the previous entries that were made. There's what they call a cryptographic hash. So that makes it part of the permanent chain that can't be changed. Basically.
Okay, and that's what my next question was going to be, that because with all the Yeah, I know there's going to be a movie about this.
Oh,
There's
sure.
no question there's going to be a movie, and somebody's going to be able to figure out how to get into that, that original blockchain and change everything.
Well, you can actually download a copy anytime you want. If you want to be a node, what they call a node on the blockchain, you can go buy a computer and download. Go ahead.
So what I don't understand though, Jeff, is how can the police not track it? Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, people use cryptocurrencies, on the dark web to buy illegal things. Well, if there's a blockchain keeping track of everything, then how can the police not say, oh, well, that address or that IP address downloaded the blockchain? You know what I mean, for that particular Bitcoin?
Generally, yeah, you do have some information. You just don't usually have identifiable information. If you go open a bank account in a bank, you have to give your social security number, your personal information, everything like
Right,
that.
sure.
To open up a wallet and use Bitcoin
Doesn't require that.
Doesn't require that.
Oh,
So you get a
okay.
Bitcoin address that is identifiable on the blockchain, but you really don't know who's holding that address. So they know Satoshi Nakamoto, the guy who invented Bitcoin, or if he is a single guy, they know he's holding about $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, but there's never been any transactions in or out to that particular address since the Genesis block.
Oh, seriously.
So people watch it all the time to see if it ever does happen, because that'll indicate that there actually is somebody out there behind that name.
and would that create could create a devastating market, couldn't it?
It could definitely sway things. There's
Sure.
yeah, absolutely. That
That's
big of a
interesting.
chunk of change would definitely have an
Yeah,
impact.
yeah,
So.
interesting stuff. That really, it truly is fascinating, and I'm waiting for the movie to come out. All right, Jeff, how can people get in touch with you?
www.SumnerOne.com.
There you go. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for making it a great show again, and we'll see you next week.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, it's Guy Phillips here, along with Sherry Farmer and Matt Mann on a Friday afternoon, 4:34 to the Golden Oak Lending Traffic Center.
We've got Tim Weiland.